Teamkills, everybody else. Hope you guys are all feeling good. In this Warframe video, we're going to dive into status builds, and I'm going to show you why some of these combinations are considered the strongest builds in the game. Now, the first thing we're going to do is talk about what status actually is very quickly. Then I'm going to show you how to get to 100% status on each weapon class. Then we're going to talk about how to do this on the Warframes. And we're going to slap them all together. And once we do this, we're going to become status kings. Or queens. Wait. That's not the queen I meant. That might actually work. Now, I know when I said queen, beside my stupidity, the first thing you guys thought was, oh great, another Siren video, which would be awesome. She really is a toxic murderer, but there is more than one way to poison an entire room without using Poison Ivy's role model. Okay, so when we're making a status build, the number that we need to pay attention to is right here. Now you can raise this number a bunch of different ways with a bunch of different mods. There honestly is a ton of these cards, and they all stack or layer on top of each other. But the best thing for you to do is to find a weapon that has a 20% base status chance. Now this is the easiest way to reach 100% status proc, or status effect. Now this is how you make them dance. For example, electricity, electric slide. Fire, the rain dance. Ice, some sort of slow dance, and blast makes them lie down, so I guess that's breakdancing. Now the proc or status effect elements are technically each different. Now placing them in different orders on your weapon or warframe is going to create new elements. Now if you don't know, or you're like me and just can't remember, here's a list of all the elements, factions, and which factions are most allergic to which element. Pretty sure I said that right. Up on the screen, because knowing this really helped me out. Now, for today, for this video, the weapons of choice, I'm going to choose the Liaison, the Pox, and the Opticore Vandal, just because. Alright, now those are just 3 small examples of how I reached 100% on 3 different classes of weapons. Now you could use different mods or those same mods on whichever weapon you have. It's completely up to you. Now let's talk quickly about the Warframes. Now once again, I'm not going to use Siren. I'm actually going to talk about Excalibur for a change, one of the originals. Now in Steel Meridian and Arbiters of Hexus, there's a mod called Chromatic Blade. Now, when you put this mod on your Warframe, it's going to jump your status for your Exalted Blade ability all the way up to 100%. So this is pretty good. Now, whatever status, whatever element you put on your weapon, now there's a 100% chance that it's going to work. So if you got Toxin and you don't kill your enemy with one of those slashes, there's a 100% chance they're poisoned. Now we got a mod called Condition Overload. This is a fantastic mod for any of your weapons, but it also fits onto your Exalted Blade. Now what this mod does is it gives you an extra 60% damage per status that affects your enemy. So if you have 1,000 Toxin and Chromatic Blades gives you a 100% chance that you're going to have that proc, now instead of 1,000 it's going to be 1,600. If you have 1,000 Toxin and 1,000 Fire, you're going to end up with a total of 3,200 damage. Now, another wicked thing that this Chromatic Blade mod that you put on Excalibur does is it changes whatever energy color that you set on your Warframe. That is the element power that your Exalted Blade puts out. So if you pick red, it's all going to be fire. And when you got Condition Overload on it, you're 100% chance to get that extra 60% damage on your total damage. Let's start layering. Now, I'm not sure if it's a secret or if it's widely known, but like I was saying, 60% per proc, blast, technically, is 2 procs. 1, they lay down, and 2, they're covered with ice. So when you turn Excalibur's energy to white, instead of getting an extra 60%, you get an extra 120%. I like to layer things like that. I like to use weapons like the Tellus Boltor. That's the one from the Syndicate. It has a Syndicate explosion, and when it does, it poisons everyone in the room because I've put cold and corrosive on it. So guys are melting, and they're moving slow. Or you could use the Vacor Heck as another Syndicate weapon. When it does its explosion, it's radiation and viral for me, so guys are confused and poisoned. Or if you haven't gone that far in the Syndicates, you could buy the Syndicate mod Shattering Justice for the normal Heck. Not only does that give you a 200% multi-shot, which I'll touch on in 1 second, but it gives you a Justice Explosion. So when it does, if you mod it for status, I have mine for radiation. Everyone's confused. Basically, we got a lot of options. You don't have to use Excalibur or Saren, Oberon, Valkyr. You don't have to do this all the time. You can use a Warframe like Garuda. When you take the melee weapon out of her hands, you can use her talons, and she can reach 100% status with no formulas at all. So with a little bit of work, you can raise the damage. Matter of fact, you don't even need status mods at all. The Heck has no status mods. It has 3 multi-shot mods that bring it up to a 74% status chance. Now before I wrap this up or get too carried away, because I can go on, there are 3 status effects that I haven't talked about. Like technically all that is elemental. The last 3 is Puncture, Impact, and Slash. These are base status that are on your weapon. What Puncture does is it lowers the defense of the target you're shooting at for you and your team. And it has a fantastically amazing animation. Like we all love pinning things to the wall, don't we? Impact is exactly what it sounds. It's like shooting baby bowling balls out your gun, hitting guys in the face. Now, back in the day, one of the metas used to be Sonocore and any high damage finisher build on your weapon, and you would just flip and kill. Like, I don't know, maybe a 100% status condition overload wolf sledge? Yeah, that's a thing. Or you don't have to do that. You can just keep bouncing them, because to be honest, they're not dangerous in this state. You can have as much fun as you want. Now the last status, and the most important one, is the Slash. It's usually seen on the weapons. A lot of times you don't actually visually see what's going on besides cutting guys into pieces. So I'm going to use the Dread to show you. Now basically what happens with Slash is a certain percentage of your damage is going to bleed out of the character, and it'll continue to come out like a heartbeat. And it scales with the damage, so the more damage you do, the higher damage it comes out. It really takes maybe 2 shots to kill a level 100 enemy. It's beautiful. Now keep in mind all the things I just showed you and all the combinations that are running through your head right now, they can all be further boosted. If you happen to study in the Matarai School of Focus, there is an ability called the Phoenix Spirit. Now, when maxed out, this will boost all elemental damage an extra 25%. This is what we want. We want damage, not just status. Right? This is why I mentioned the multi-shot mods, because on your weapons, it's a good idea to put those on first. Those raise your status. You might not have to put so many status mods on afterwards. Or say you're on your weapon and you have the damage you want, but you can't sacrifice anymore. You can't quite get there. There are mods like Weeping Wounds. Now this works kind of like a Blood Rush, where it gives you an extra 45% status with your combo counter. On that note, I'd like to wrap it up. First, I'd like to mention that I made a video called Critical Monsters, and this video is Status Kings. Now, when you put those together, we're going to go down to Cetus, and we're going to explore in the Zaws. Now, when we're doing that, I'm going to show you an amazing critical monster. I'm going to show you an amazing Status King weapon, and then we're going to blend that together, and we're going to make a hybrid, and we're going to end up emerging as critical Status King monsters, I think. I'm not sure if that's that's the actual title. Either way, guys, I'm going to show you how to do this Riven or without a Riven. Okay? So I hope this has helped a lot. I want you guys to tune in. Next time, join the team of Team Killers. Become a killer of teams. Make sure to keep it easy. And remember, Just keep gaming.